we aim to transform the way that Muslims travel. Became very interested in the issue about refugees. When they leave their home, they think we'll come back, but they never come back. Life changes. So what happens to that? I mean, all of this is really triggered from my visit to Bosnia. That was the first genocide we really saw. Our type of work is from the heart. Young people today seem to just want to, press a couple of social media buttons and get an instant result. With any business, when you start it, there'll be problems with funding, there'll be problems with getting the right people. You need to have resilience. Some businesses might reach a plateau after 5 years or 10 years, and then what? My name is Kamran Siddiqui. I'm the founder of Holiday Bosnia, which is a tour operator based in Bosnia. We aim to transform the way that Muslims travel. So it's a Muslim cultural travel company based in Bosnia. My family is ethnically Pakistani. Although I was born and grew up here. Of course, my mother was born and grew up in Zanzibar.
Zanzibar?
Yeah. Yes. So, we've had some insights from East Africa, Pakistan, India, and of course UK. So, yeah. And I grew up, my father's an engineer, so I grew up from the age of 2 as an expat kid in the Middle East. We lived in Libya, Bahrain, Yemen, Saudi and stuff. Then I came back to UK for a long period. And then I've been, moving around in different countries.
You're really a global citizen.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. I pride myself in being able to make people laugh from any part of the world. So I made people laugh in Bosnia or in Afghanistan or wherever, so I can make sure they can understand humor universally. Well, my background, my background is sort of as a troubleshooter, really. I'm originally a civil engineer. I studied civil engineering at Imperial College a long time ago. I really like bridges and things, but I was more interested in the people than the buildings. And so I moved into working with governments in some different strategy development, advisory capacity. And I worked in different countries. And then when I went to Bosnia, I became very interested in the humanitarian side of things. So I left my nice, cushy job in London and I joined Muslim Aid. And I was the director of overseas programs for a couple of years at Muslim Aid. Became very interested in the issue about refugees. When they leave their home, they think we'll come back, but they never come back. Life changes. So what happens to that? So that led me into study more details about post-conflict countries. So I have a master's in post-war recovery studies as well. But while I was doing all this, all of this is really triggered from my visit to Bosnia. So you can say it was life-changing for me in 2007. But through all my evolution and my work in different countries, working with different governments, I've always kept my connection with Bosnia and the Bosnian people and the communities. And so at that stage, then I felt that, okay, it was time to do tourism. So my background is really problem solving. I worked in Afghanistan, setting up some ministries there. So my last work was in Dubai for the last 16 years, advising government on education employment. I resigned from my job in Dubai in October. And we're now moving on to the next level with Bosnia and scaling up this model. Well, when I first came 28 years ago to Bosnia after the war. So the war finished in 1995 and I went there in 1997. I really went there because my generation growing up in UK, we were seeing all these horrible things happening in Bosnia. That was the first genocide we really saw. Unfortunately, today we have another genocide. But the first sort of wake-up call for us was back in the day in Bosnia. So after the war finished, I went there to see for myself the place and the people, and I met lots of people there. And I became very interested in working and helping the people in Bosnia, the Muslims in Bosnia. So I got involved in a lot of the charitable work in Bosnia. And then some years later, I felt that the best way to help the post-war country like Bosnia is just to bring people together, to create a sense of normality, to contribute to the local economy, to build the morale of the local people when they see foreign visitors coming and make them feel happy. So that's how Holiday Bosnia was born. Just over 10 years ago, I think some Kuwaiti businessmen came to Bosnia for a business conference. They couldn't believe their eyes when they went there. They didn't realize this. They went back, and then they brought their families for 2 months, and then they went back. And in the Gulf especially, word of mouth travels very fast. So if you think about it, the Gulf Arabs have got money, and they can go to any part of the world. It's not a problem, too expensive or too, but they all love Bosnia. Everyone in the Gulf knows some family member or friend who's been to Bosnia, over the last 10 years. They tell me they love the nature, coming from the desert. They love to see the nature. The one word I hear the most when because we have some office in Dubai, and we have a lot of guests from the Gulf. The one word I hear all the time is just Jannat, 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 right? Because they see the nature. When you're coming from the desert, water is life, and Bosnia is full of water. There's streams, rivers, lakes. The beauty of Bosnia is it's water, actually. The great wealth of Bosnia is the water. So there's the nature. So they love that. Then they love the fact that they can see minarets in the middle of Europe, in the heart of Europe. They can pray anywhere they want. They love the culture. They love the food. All the animals are, organically produced, and the fruits and the vegetables, all from the nature and the water. So the food is great. The Islamic culture is there in the heart of Europe. It's relatively cheap, and so they love it. And then a lot of them have came back, and they've invested in properties there, as you said. They've bought properties, houses, and villas, and apartment blocks, and so on. So yeah, they feel at home there. They can walk around with the kandura and the niqab, and nobody's giving them evil, funny, strange looks like they do maybe if they were to go to Paris or something like that. So yeah, they feel very much at home, and they're very comfortable. So the beauty of Bosnia is the nature, the rich Islamic history and the culture there, the friendly people, the food, everything else. It's a combination of both. I call it social impact travel. So we do the tourism, and a percentage of our profits go back into the community in Bosnia. So we've helped a lot of people. So our guests that come with us, their dollar, if you like, or their pound, actually works and trickles into the community in different ways as well. So our model is really the charity tourism plus charitable activity as part of that. Of course, as a business, it has to run, it has to be viable. So it works, and we really connect with the local people because of my wide experience. I know so many people in Bosnia. So yeah, we have a great results. Our guests love the trips, and they come with us several times. So we have repeat customers and stuff like that. So yeah, and we take small. We can take 2 people, or we can take 200 people. We work it out. We custom design everything, so everything is tailor made. We basically have we have an office or branches in Dubai and London for those 2 markets. But our head office is in Sarajevo in Bosnia. So yeah, and we have staff. We have a number of staff. We have also seasonal staff, because the tour guides come and go during the main season. So we have about 10 core staff, but that can double in the peak seasons. And we have our own fleet of vehicles, and we have our managers and guides and things like that. So yeah, and we spread, as I said, we spread over. But our other offices are really for the marketing purposes, to attract the clients, and then we have the team on the ground to deliver the trips and the tours and so forth. So we custom design, as I mentioned, it's a tailor-made type of thing. So we don't really like to do mass tourism. So first of all, we'd understand what's your requirements. If you're going with a family, if you're going with a bunch of friends, do you want adventure trip? Do you want history, culture? Do you want a bit of everything? If there's some elderly people, maybe they need some special allowance for accessibility and things like that. So we try to understand your requirements, and then we provide a package based as entirely on your needs. So to try and meet your needs as much as possible. So you can expect, I mean, you'd have we'd pick you up at the airport, take you to your hotel, and then you have your own personal driver and vehicle and guide to take you around to all the places. That's one model. So that's what we call FIT, Free Independent Traveller. Then the other model is we have groups coming in, 20, 30, 40, 50, so we promote those groups, and you can join a group. Usually those group trips are cheaper, as you can imagine, it's better value. So there's different experiences. With the group trip, you will meet people from different parts of the world, different, Muslims, sometimes non-Muslims as well. And you make friends, so there's a different dynamic there. It's cheaper, you make friends, you have arguments, but it's great, it's also good as well. Yeah. Well, these are very important because people need to know what's going on within the Muslim community in terms of the work which is going on. So Islam Channel has mentioned several segments, several important sectors. Travel is one of those because it's an emerging sector. Muslims are traveling more and more. It's by, I think, 2030, they think it's going to be worth $300 billion, around $300 billion market. So the Muslim travel market globally is huge. The Muslims in UK are more and more active. They're traveling more and more around the world. They have different expectations. So it's good to showcase what's being done within this travel segment for the British audience. No, I enjoyed. We had a really nice discussion. They asked some very interesting and searching questions about from the business point of view. But ours is more from our type of work is from the heart. So we have to combine the passion of what we're trying to do, helping the communities through travel and having a great time and enjoying yourself with the business perspective as well. So they asked some searching questions, as I would expect. So we have to make it work from a business point of view as well as from the aesthetic point of view, shall we say. Well, a lot of ideas getting copied. So a lot of the ideas I had was original and they copied it. But then you have to realize that, I suppose imitation is one of the best forms of flattery. So because back in the day when I originally started doing this, a lot of our trips and packages were unique. And then they got, people saw them and started doing them and copying them. So that was a little bit, frustrating that what we're doing. But then it doesn't matter because it just keeps us, we keep inventing new ideas, new projects, new initiatives. And the other thing is that, as a business, our focus is on the quality. So that's something which we're very keen for, to maintain our quality. So the challenges we're doing, having the right people on the ground, proper team to deliver the quality which we want. And also working with partners in different countries, whether it's the Middle East, whether it's in UK. So some of those partners also needed to sort of understand that, getting the cheapest package is not always the best, And when they understood that, because they saw the results from the clients that they really had a great time and they want to come again and again, then it sort of made sense to them that fine,
Yeah, if you give customer service,
Yeah, and I don't believe that, you have to charge a lot of money to get best quality. It just, we have to be something quite reasonable for everyone. We're expecting, I don't say exponential growth, but we're expecting a steep growth in the number of clients we're getting. So we have a plan to work towards that, so to scale up our business even more, to using of technology more. And so, we expect it to be thriving and, cover other countries as well, inshallah. Well, I don't really have anyone in mind regarding travel. But I think people like Richard Branson are quite inspirational in the sense that they're always looking at new ideas, they're innovating, which I really like. But all of them have that tenacity, as I mentioned, that resilience. I don't really have one specific person in mind. Well, you have to first believe in what you're doing, which I do. You have to see the results as well. So you can believe what you want, but if at the end of the day you don't get the results, then you're not really, you're going to be sinking a lot of money and, I just say barking up the wrong tree almost. So you believe in what you're doing and you see that is there results. So I believe very much in what we're doing in Bosnia. And we see the results because of we win awards and we get recognition and people really appreciate us. We're getting all the time top ratings. So I know what model which we use works. We need to look very carefully at the numbers as well. So we need to make sure that the business can be viable and sustainable and grow itself. And then there's potential for growth because it might be nice. Some businesses might reach a plateau after 5 years or 10 years. And then what? I think a lot of people also think about, how far will the business go, and then they look to maybe sell the business after a certain time. So I guess maybe knowing when to move on would be another thing. But from my point of view, this is a business which has got long growth potential. We would be very careful with the local partners because you need to make sure that the people on the ground, are professionally competent to do the job. So you can be, we can have the best intention in the world, but if you're not able to do the job as we require, then a lot of time and energy and money gets wasted. And also invest in your people so they grow and develop. If you have staff who come, they learn something, then they leave, then you have to start all over again. So for me, I would definitely look very carefully on your partners, your staff, the team that you have, that are they able to keep up with your vision. Well, I definitely would say that follow your passion. I don't want to sound stereotypical, but follow your passion. And you need to have resilience. Because with any business, when you start it, there'll be problems with funding, there'll be problems with getting the right people, there'll be people who will, I would say, cheat you, but who will, undercut you, and you will find frustration, you find obstacles, but that's part of a business. You might have setbacks, but if you're resilient and you believe in what you're doing, then you will overcome those barriers. So I think that's a very important factor for young people. Young people today seem to just want to, press a couple of social media buttons and get an instant result. And I think that's quite dangerous in this day and age. And people should learn that resilience and keep that resilience to oversee all obstacles and keep going through. I think visualizing where they want to be, let's say in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, is very important. Just have a clear picture where you expect your business to be in the future, and then you have the goal to work towards.